This is Salamancer. You're watching SalTV, competitive Team Fortress 2, and today I'm going to bring you a soldier who looks, I don't even know what this guy looks like. You can imagine things. I'm sure that you will all invent your own awesome captions for that particular opening, and I would love to hear them in the comments. Might read the best one. I don't know. Go back and just readjust the video when you guys come up with something good. Anyway, this is going to be a very low-level game. I don't want to get your hopes up right now, but there are going to be some awesome things like, you know, pyro full-time, which I had been talking about happening for a while now. I would love to see more pyro. So we are going to see a full-time pyro from Team Poop. It's going to be Lefon. Apparently these guys do love their off-classing in UGC. They did win, I think, 2 matches already, and they're going up against Team Good Manners and Customs. So Poop in the blue, Good Manners in the red, and oh, you gotta hit those flares, man. If you don't hit the flares, then there is no point to playing that pyro, because he could have totally destroyed the Demo Man. Demo Man's down anyway, but he could have gotten so much better. And apparently, is the Atomizer allowed? That sounded like the Atomizer. That was definitely the Atomizer. So that's allowed in UGC 6s. Didn't realize that, because it's definitely not allowed in ESEA, and I thought they had pretty much the same ban lists. Turns out I'm wrong. This scout is getting really aggressive. Should not be that aggressive, and so I'll say that right now, that he, you know, everybody poops. Should probably have been backing up. There's definitely no way they were going to win that fight, especially when the second scout came in. So Team Poop's just going to have to back off for now. They still have their pyro out, though. Where is he? Pyro. Lefon is going to be following his teammate, actually not taking any of that Uber, but that makes sense. Oh, there you go. A nice little reflect on that soldier is going to keep him away, and might have even done a lot of damage. Actually, Lefon seems to have some pretty good reflex. I'm probably saying his name wrong, but a nice flare there on the soldier is going to take him out. So this is what happens if you don't focus that pyro and you let him get into your team like that. It will destroy you real fast. Pretty useful. Pretty useful, actually. So Team Good Manners, they want to push onto the second point. We'll see how they manage to do it. But yeah, I mean, you can, at these levels of 6v6, by the way, I want to point out that you can pretty much make anything work. If you want to main pyro and you've got a team that supports you, you can do it. Get into, you know, UGC 6s. It's a totally free league to play. They've got a lot of teams, and it's going to be pretty much this level, sometimes even lower, until you get into like Platinum, in which case, you know, occasionally UGC Platinum 6s, you'll have a team full of like invite players who are just having a good time and off-classing. But no, UGC Steel is very much for like people who are new to 6v6 and wanted to make a team for a league in North America. Definitely think you should totally do it. But we are going to see Team Poop sitting back on their last, and you know, maybe they've gotten some mentorship trying to keep their medic upstairs. Although you know, if they're this far back, usually you want to keep your med like inside that bunker, or at least up, you know, all the way up top here with no potential for taking splash damage, because you really don't want to take any splash damage from like standing next to these walls. A nice little sticky trap here. Nobody's going to notice that if they try to walk through, but nobody has walked through yet. Apparently, our Team Good Manners and Customs, they kind of want to wait to go in until they have the 100% Uber. Now they've got it. Now is the time they actually want to start making a push. And if the push fails, like if they don't get enough kills with the Uber, then what they need to do is back out. We'll see if they actually do that. Actually, they're not bringing those guys in with the Uber. A little bit weird, but they got in practically for free without the Uber. Oh, Pyro taking down the soldier, though. And there goes the... Oh, no! Poop dropped their Uber. Oh, what a poopy Uber situation that was. And so that's going to mean that, of course, Good Manners and Customs is going to win it, because there was no Uber to stop things. So if I can offer some advice, I'm not the greatest player in the world, but some advice to Team Poop, pop that Uber earlier. There's no reason to let your players die. Even if you're, as a med, you're not feeling particularly vulnerable, if it looks like your players are getting low on health, and the enemies already popped their Uber, just pop it. Keep your players alive, because on last, living is everything. If you are alive and you keep your team alive for longer than the enemy does, then you've definitely got a good chance of pushing back out to second. So, Good Manners and Customs pushing out once again. I want to see the Pyro Cam again, see how he manages to get away with things. Does manage to set up for that Demo Man kill, which is nice. So it looks like already Good Manners and Customs are losing this one. Lefon pretty much sticking with the med right now. He's not trying to get too far forward, and I kind of like that. He does see a bombing soldier, and you notice the attention he's giving to that. He wants to make sure he follows this soldier quite a bit, just because, oh, the stick flares, because that is the biggest threat to his med, and he's very much keeping his med alive right now. I like that kind of theory of if you're going to run a pocket pyro, or a pyro on your 6v6 team full time, he pretty much is going to be a pocket. He's going to have to stay with the med and take a lot of heals, and that's going to keep the med alive for a lot longer, because soldiers are going to have a really tough time bombing into the med. So you're going to have to focus on that quite a bit. and focus on, laying down the flares. Looks like he doesn't have any ammo right now, though, so he's running off to find some more metal, that they call it. Team Poop does have to pop the Uber, and that's a good pop. They actually managed to take down Kaku right away, the med for Good Manners and Customs. I will say that Team GMC, they sent me some information about themselves. They are a relatively new team. Let's find Leifon again here. He's going to go for another flare kill. Oh, man. Full-time pyro. Gotta love it. The main pyro in 6v6. Good Manners and Customs have a lot of new players. Their most experienced players of Derplink, the demo man, which is like, well, we'll talk about him later, and their scouts. They both have 6v6 scrim experience, so they've played some scrimmages and some Highlander, but they aren't 6v6 experienced at all. We will see Team Poop pushing into last year. We'll see how the Pyro push happens, but I actually wanted to talk about the name Derplink for a little while, because I was thinking, this has to be like Dark Link's less intelligent clone, Derplink. He's just there for the larfs. Seems like the brass beast is allowed, and Leifon, this is a problem. If you are a pyro and you don't have any sort of protection, if you're by yourself, scouts will destroy you. He got demolished there. Team Poop unable to really push successfully into this heavy so far. They are going to push now. It is 4v4, so I guess that's a good idea, and they will actually manage to get it without even having to pop. Good Manners and Customs were not keeping their heavy close enough to the point, and in fact nobody was close enough to the point, so they couldn't stop it. So it's a good round for everybody Poops, and for Team Poop in general. I'm pretty much going to embrace that team name. I like it. I think that more teams should be named ridiculous things that make casters want to giggle every time you say their name. Good Manners and Customs is going to be pushing, though, to mid, and they're taking this left-hand side again, which is a bit slower. I think every like invite team who's played Process will take the normal, like, the big hallway over there rollout. But right now we do have this full-time Pyro coming out here once again and just controlling mid. Along with his demo, they should be able to control space very effectively, and now allowing their soldier to jump in. Kaku is down. Arbitration, I think his name is going to be Arbitration and not Polyswag. I think Polyswag is his tag. I don't know. Whatever. Hashtag Polyswag. I guess that's the idea. But Team Poop going to manage to push that pretty effectively, and here you go. That's a nice thing you can do with Pyros. If you can see the sticky traps, you can push away the sticky traps. They've got a scout, I think, on second right now, and the Wine Galaxy. Oh, apparently they don't have a good config because they're using banned weapons. There has to be a whitelist config, and they just didn't use it. That's weird. But, it's the kind of thing you get sometimes in 6v6. You just have to kind of police yourselves. Of course, if somebody uses consistently like banned stuff and they don't stop, then you can go to the admins and they'll stop you. But anyway, Uber coming in. Team Poop with a good Uber here. The Wine Galaxy's not been taken out, though. Nobody's really focusing him down. Not even able to hit him yet. So good dodging on this guy. Can he get the med? He's doing damage. Med's at 60 health. One meat shot, and he does take down Orphan here. Team Poop loses their med, so good play there by the Wine Galaxy. That's going on the frag bid. And Team Poop is just basically trying to recover from losing their med now. They do need to keep their players alive, and I think we might have a pause. Now, losing your med is a pretty awful thing. Okay, so it turns out you can't use the atomizer. That makes sense. No atomizer allowed. I think it makes a scout maybe just a little bit too powerful because you just can never tell where he's going to land at all. Oh, everybody sucks, apparently. Trying to make everyone else live up to his namesake. He just took out two players very effectively. Surprised by that, actually, because, I mean, when you're a demo man, you're standing in the middle of enemy players like that, you really ought to just die. And he didn't at all. Instead, he just kind of danced around and nobody took the shots necessary. So he managed to get a couple nice kills. Didn't take out the med, so Kaku is still alive. And my stream chat, by the way, is reminding me I owe them a newbie mix coach. And I know, I totally bailed last night. I bailed because Hein was in town. But I basically started streaming, and I started up with a newbie mix group, and I was like, okay, I'll be a coach, guys. Put me in, put me in. I was about ready to coach a team. We were getting set up, and then I got a call that Hein was like out of his wedding or what? Well, not his wedding. He's already married, but somebody else's. But the wedding was over, and there, he was like, "Okay, let's hang out." And I was like, "Oh, he's never going to be in town again. I got to hang out with Hein." So I went and did that. Hein's an awesome guy, but I had to bail on the newbie mix, and I feel so bad about that. So I definitely, when I have the time, I will do it again. It won't be next weekend because I got class, but the weekend after, totally going to do it. I will definitely hang out with the newbie mix group and coach and play my heart out and stream it and all that, and you guys should all play in it too. The NA 6v6 newbie mix group is awesome. GMC getting owned here though on last, losing way too many players there. Very good push by Team Poop. And, you know, by the time you get a pyro standing on the enemy's last point, the tough part's getting him there. But if he gets there, who's going to stop him? You can't lay sticks on the point because he's just going to air blast him away. You can't jump on the point because he's going to air blast you away. You've got to get like a scout right up in his face, but a scout's really, really low health, or a heavy maybe, or an engineer or something, like if you've already got a sentry gun set up. But it's tough to stop a pyro from standing on there. So, Leifon trying to jump out here. This time he's getting shut down by these scouts. He's able to light them on fire, but with a degreaser, that's just not going to do any damage at all. The afterburn damage on degreaser, not very good, and he does end up eating a rocket to die. So this time around, Team Poop is losing almost all their players. Their med is too far forward. He needs to get back out of here, but what is he doing? Oh, Orphaneer, you are so screwed right now. Good plays by the scouts, but Orphaneer, like, when he saw he had that few players in the field and the rest of the enemy team was still alive, like, you need to be hitting tab, I guess, more often. Oh, everybody sucks. Could get a couple good kills here. He only got one so far, and actually it's overextended, so he did die. It's too bad. Oh, it's so tempting, though, when you're playing Demo Man and you see that many people standing on a point. You're just like, I want to kill everything. What was I saying? I don't remember. There's something about Team Poop, though. I'm pretty sure. Oh, yeah, you should be hitting tab at mid, especially if you're a med. Hitting tab to see the scoreboard and see who's still alive. Very, very important thing to do, because that way you can tell if the enemy has 6 and you have 2, it's like, oh, it's time for me to back up to last now. Basically, if you lose a mid-fight, and if you lose it by that much, where all of your team wipes out except you just don't look back. You just run, 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 get to the last point, get to your soldier if you can, and get to the point where you can be defended again, because there is no sense in staying that far forward like he did. Probably just wasn't thinking about it or didn't have the experience. Everybody Poop's got some good movement on him, though. I like that. We're going to watch Risk for a little bit. As he actually takes a push there. Didn't jump himself, but got another rocket landed on his butt to kind of push him forward into that scout. Kind of cute. But it didn't work out for him at all, and now, oh, good manners and customs, they want to push out, but it's tough to push into a pyro until he's taken out by the Wine Galaxy from behind. Is that a store? Is it like the Wine Galaxy? You know, you can go to your local Wine Galaxy in Houston and be like, I would like to try this wine, yes. Because if it is, that's cool, but I've never heard of it. Team Poop backed up to their last again, and they've got a huge Uber disadvantage. So you want to see, well, sorry, I missed some action there. You definitely want to see good manners and customs pushing in right away, and that is what they will do. Tom Roadrunner gets a kill, that soldier not paying any attention to his flank, like, obviously should be watching there. Going for a back cap, but that back cap will not be successful, and good manners and customs. Actually, not the first ones to call out GR, good round. I don't see them calling out good round at all. Where are the good manners, fellas? Because I'm not seeing them right now. You name your team that, but you got to be like, if you're gonna put that in your team name, you need to be the most well-mannered individuals in TF2. And right now, I'm not seeing it. I'm just not seeing it. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be really polite at this mid-fight and allow their opponents to have a good time. The Twine Galaxy. So okay, so apparently the other scout is called the Twine Galaxy, and that is awesome. Because apparently now there's a store for twine as well. Not just for wine, but you can do the same thing. You walk into the store, and it's just like this huge warehouse full of like different reels of twine. And you're just like, oh my gosh, this is the best twine I have ever seen. I want this one. And they're like, that'll be $5,000 for that reel of twine. You go, oh, never mind. It's not my budget this time around. But man, that is such awesome twine. Anyway, I get so lost during some of these games sometimes. Good manners and customs hanging out on their second point now after having lost a mid-fight, and they are getting lit on fire, which is no fun at all. A useful thing to do, actually, and reflecting rockets into Tom Roadrunner will be pretty cool as well. The Twine Galaxy taken out, so Poop already have a pick, and they are trying to push in to continue their aggression. This Demo Man in a good position, getting defended by the Pyro, but is it quite well enough? It looks like he may actually get taken out there, and he does. The Wine Galaxy focusing that demo hard. And in comes an Uber, but this is going to be a really weird Uber. This soldier is going to have to take out 3 players by himself if he wants this to be successful. And right now, he's not able to do that. He did take out 1, but now it's going to be really tough to defend the med. Orphaneer actually does get away. And where is that? Oh, Rice is actually on the point right now. So you know what? They did turn it into a successful Uber. Rice did take out that second soldier, and that does mean Team Poop will take it. In a situation like that, I think if I was watching like Mix Up versus LG, first of all, LG would never have popped that Uber if they only had, Shade and Tyrone. But second, if they had, and it had been like, Harblue and Tyler and Ruin defending, they would have just like scattered and gotten away from the Uber and not done anything. And then they would have turned back around after it was over and come back in and bombed in on top of Shade and destroyed him. So It tells you there's a big difference in skill. I'm not expecting these guys to be invite at all, but that's kind of how you would expect things to happen. You want to be able to scatter away from those Ubers, and you really don't want to pop an Uber if you just have one person. It's not going to be successful most of the time. That just happened to work out for them because they had a soldier who was able to get some kills. Rice doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Good Manners and Customs sitting back on their last again, and somehow Tom Roadrunner, I totally missed it, but managed to get a flank on that med and destroyed him. So that is going to be very useful for them. They're trying to go for a back cap now. Leifon cannot stop this, and so Team Poop losing everybody after they lost that med. That's looking really good. Plus, nobody really dropping back, especially that demo man did not drop back at all. Orphaneer, you got to back up, man. Back up. Don't stay around here. Okay, he'll back up. He's gonna let his scout kind of go try to get some damage done. But everybody poops does get taken out. You know, I never read that book as a kid, if it even is a real book, which I assume it is, and not just a Family Guy troll. But I never read it. It was not a thing on my required reading list as a child. So if you have, just let me know what it was like. Was it a good book? Was it, you know, did it make you feel good about yourself for pooping? I don't know. Good Manners and Customs, though, hanging out on second right now. They want to make sure their med stays alive here. It's a fairly important thing. We're going to watch the Derplink cam for a little bit as everybody sucks us down right now. And that does mean that GMC should be able to push in pretty effectively here. They'll be able to take down a lot of enemy players without taking too much damage themselves. No demo is going to be a useful thing. Plus, they've got the Uber advantage, so they're pushing in with that. The Pyro trying to delay this Uber as much as possible, but that's only going to work if the blue team can capitalize on that, either by retreating or by getting in on top of the enemy med, and so far it's not happening. Derplink does not manage to get those air pipes, but I've been told he's an air pipe master, so I don't know, man. That back cap, though, by everybody poops is not going to work, and that actually puts the scout really far out of position. Looks like GMC know it. They are going to go straight in for last. They've got a huge advantage here, and they can just lay down sticks at the doorway so nobody can even get out to stop this capture, and now it is 3-2 for GMC. A nice close little game here in UGC Steel, and how much time is left in this? 13 minutes and 7 seconds. So, looks like Derplink's actually practiced his rollouts here, too. That looks pretty good. It's a pretty good looking rollout there, Derplink. There you go. He will get to mid quite effectively. And he is charging the sticky up. Did you know? Interesting factoid. You can charge stickies, and they fire farther. They don't do any more damage, but they will fire a lot farther the more you charge them up. They just have more velocity when they leave your model. Seems like Kaku's been taken out by everybody poops right now, and Derplink is still kind of focused forward, which is not really too good. He wants to back up a little bit more. There you go. So you can keep the entire enemy team in his field of view. That way he can lay down all the damage he wants and not worry about getting flanked. Leifon did get an extinguisher kill there. So we're going to get back on his game for a little bit as GMC are on the defensive right now. Pretty much just going to have to sit back, and at least they got the med pick, so it's not going to be like 100% Uber pushing into their last. But no, I mean, I want to hear your thoughts really on a couple different things. First off, I did a Demo Man commentary, and you should watch all the way to the end because there's an interesting little contest I threw in there at the end. I'm trying it out for the first time, but I'm definitely going to be giving away an item, so watch that, watch all the way through, or at least watch the last part if you don't care about anything else. Because the last part is where I talk about the contest? Contest, yes. All it requires really is just a comment, I think. I don't remember. Go watch it. But the other thing is that I actually... Wait. The other thing? Guys, I don't remember what I was talking about. So we're going to go back to this game here. Team Poop with their Pyro right now. He's apparently playing kind of a roaming Pyro at the moment, guarding the flank by himself. You got to be careful about this scout, though. And, you know, dealing with a scout in enclosed quarters as a Pyro is actually okay, because they can't really jump away from your flames too much. But if they get the meat shots, you're still screwed. Oh, going for the flare, but the scout does manage to dodge it temporarily. It's just he didn't quite manage to dodge all the flames. And now it seems like the Uber is in. I think I was going to say something about, you know, please get on a 6s team, because it really is a lot of fun playing 6v6. Even if you don't main any one of these classes, you can still have fun with it. I definitely promise you that you can. Like, if you main Engineer, for instance, I would recommend trying to get into Scout, unless you really like how, you know, rockets or pills or whatever work, or maybe you just like how the medic, you know, the metagame plays out, whatever. But Scout often off-classes to Engineer on last, so you get to use your Engineer experience. Or if you main Pyro, obviously you can do what these guys are doing and just run full-time Pyro like Leifon. If you main, let me think, what else? Spy. Depends what you kind of like to do. You can make any class work, but with Spy in particular, it's really tough to run full-time Spy because they're going to know you're there and they're just going to shut you down really fast with these classes. So what you really want to do is probably learn like how to play Soldier, for instance. You could be like Hard Blue, who off-classes to Spy all the time, or you can learn to play Scout and do the same thing, off-class to Spy whenever you want that really big med pick. You know, if you main Sniper, obviously you've probably got really good aim, so you shouldn't have a problem picking up Scout. I really highly recommend getting into it, guys. It's a lot of fun. Maining Heavy. Heavy's used a lot, and actually it slows the game down and people get kind of hacked off when they see Heavies sometimes, but I've seen teams put together really good pushes. You see Classic Mix-Up using the Heavy quite a bit, even just to hold warm front mid. You know, they get the Heavy out there and suddenly nobody can push into them, so it's a really useful thing. Highly recommend trying out 6v6. Nice shot there from Everybody Sucks. And he's going to lay down more sticks here, but this time he's not able to hit anything, which doesn't really matter. I mean, red team is just going to kind of hang out at their second. We're going to have a little bit of a stalemate until the Uber comes in. And is this med going to flash his pyro at all? No. Oh, there you go. Finally does. Give him a little bit of an overheal. Good jump in by the Soldier. Everybody Sucks, though, does get taken down, and now actually Team Poop have lost 2 players. So I like that jump, but apparently the Soldier didn't have anything loaded. Oh, the Extinguisher not quite able to hit, and Leifon gets taken down without any kills this time around, so Team Poop is suddenly losing a bunch of players here. GMC should be able to take mid very easily. Kind of wish I'd seen the Pyro do a little bit better there, but, you know, maybe after a little bit more practice. Who knows? Somebody was mentioning in my stream chat, by the way, if you play Heavy, actually, this is really good input. So if you play Heavy, try Pocket Soldier, because you're already used to having a med on you, and you can, you know, kind of know how to position your med. Or if you main Spy, they're recommending Scout, because with Scout you can still like get into the flank and sneak up on people, and you probably have some good experience like trying to find hiding spots and flanking routes. So that's a pretty important point. If you main Spy, Scout is actually a really good class. But you know, you can do that with Roaming Soldier too, because Roaming Soldier does tend to do a lot of like flanking and hiding spot type stuff. So either way, they're pretty useful. Everybody Sucks just laying down pills over here at the flank. Team GMC, though, they've popped their Uber, trying to keep their players alive here, and a good flash of that Scout just to deflame him, I guess. Not the player deflame, but to take the, what do you call that? Extinguish is the word I was looking for. GMC now losing all their players. They do have Tom Roadrunner, though, on the enemy med. He's dealing some damage. Doesn't look like he has a shotgun, though, or he could have pulled that out and maybe killed Orphaneer right there. He had very low health. Now a Scout's in, though, and lining him up against the wall, and that is going to be the firing squad taking down Orphaneer. So neither medic is up. It is just this Scout left, actually, who's in the fight for GMC. They had 3 new respawners, but the Scout is, where is he? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? The Wine Galaxy. He's going to go for a bad cap, but he's actually getting attacked here by a Demo Man. Silly thing is, though, the Demo Man is just going to get taken out. You gotta love it. The Wine Galaxy manages to get a nice pick because he's behind enemy lines. Orphaneer is like AFK or something, which is not good for his team. And the Wine Galaxy comes in behind Leifon, gets that kill. So this is what we were talking about. You get really good flanks as a Scout, and you're able to do a lot of damage if you can get in close. It's 100 damage, 108 damage if you get a full meat shot. About 108, I think, 110, something like that, if you just get right up next to him and hit him with every single pellet. So that can be a useful thing to do as Scout, actually. You don't just start firing as soon as you see the enemy. If they don't see you, you just keep running up until you're like right next to them, and then you unload, and it just makes things so much fun. Orphaneer does look like he's back at his computer now, but the Wine Galaxy, oh, not quite able to get that kill. Still, there's an Uber advantage, so I would expect to see GMC pushing in soon. And no, GMC is not General Motors Corporation. It's that team we've been talking about the whole game. Is actually Good Manners and Customs. Team Poop able to do some damage to this Uber, but they are losing almost all their players. They want to get the med down, which is good. And now if they can clean up the rest of these players, they'll actually be in an okay position. But if they lose their demo, they are not... Oh, no, they don't get the med down. I'm sorry, I thought they got him. What am I looking at? I'm not looking at this game, apparently. No, we're not able to get the med. That's a wipeout. So GMC should be able to cap this and have a nice big Uber advantage. She's got a huge Uber advantage. I'm sorry, Monty Python reference, you know. Oh, a good kill on Leifon there, too. That's a good thing to do as Demo Man. Just cover doors. And every time somebody opens a door, you get a free kill. You know, unless they're really good at backing away from it. I mean, there are techniques where if you know the Demo Man has stickies behind that door, you just kind of edge up to the door and then back away as soon as it opens. You know, you get the distance down so that you can basically force a demo man to pop the stickies and you don't take any damage. It's possible. It's possible to do, but apparently Leifon wasn't thinking too well. Or didn't have experience doing that. Because it's kind of a habit. Like, after a while, it just turns it... Oh, Engineer! This is what we were talking about. A lot of off-classing right now on this last point. Engineer's very good on this point. That sentry covers everything in this room. But it looks like the Wine Galaxy and the Twine Galaxy both kind of standing upstairs with their pink little hats. And they're going to be ready to capitalize. As soon as that sentry is down, they're going to be standing on the point. Got to take down that scout. And actually, they're losing almost all their players here. It's just Time Roadrunner left. Gritzkrieg ready to go here for Team Poop. So a very good defense from the Poop guys. And I'm kind of surprised. They are actually leaving sticks on the point here. So that Gritzkrieg may end up getting popped on a soldier. Or nobody. Orphaneer taken down by Tom Roadrunner. So apparently, once again, Wile E. Coyote has been fooled. And did you know that Roadrunner's first name was Tom? Well, I didn't, but it turns out that's exactly what it is. I kept clicking through players because I was looking for him, and it turns out he was dead. I do that a lot. I'm a little scatterbrained. Derplink, though, going to take... Oh, I thought he was going to take a jump, and then I guess he decided against it. And that is a sniper. But he's going to get taken out real fast. He was a little bit too far forward. Overextended, as they like to say. He should have backed way up just to make sure he stayed alive to defend last point, because now it's 5 against 3. The Uber advantage doesn't even matter. GMC can just push in right now, and they should be able to win this. There is a demo man. He will have a sticky trap somewhere. Where is it? I would hope he has a sticky trap somewhere. No, it's just on the point right now, actually. You kind of want to cover one of these doors with those stickies if you can, but it looks like he's not doing that right now. And now they have to deal with a pyro. So they kind of gave up their advantage. They actually had a big player advantage. They could have pushed in and tried to win it, but it is 3 minutes left in this half right now. I don't know if they're going to play 2 halves or what. We'll find out, though, because 3-2 could mean GMC wins it nice and easy. Or it could mean, who knows. Leifon coming in. And the Gritzkrieg is popped. Actually, Rice doing a lot of damage here. Looks like the crits is now over, but GMC, their push has already been completely taken out. Where is Derp? He managed to pan Rice to death, so that's going to be pretty useful. And Derplink is now dropping back. Is he laying sticky traps anywhere? You'd think he'd want to, but apparently he's not doing that right now. He's just going to wait to see somebody and start laying down actual damage. And a good retreat, actually. So I like that. I like to see the high-level play from the low-level teams. Team Poop getting their pyro back out. And who doesn't want to watch more pyro? I want to watch more pyro. So, not able to actually light this scout at all. Oops. Gotta hate that. But Leifon is... Yeah, he's in the flank. He's taking too many rockets. It's tough when you're a pyro. You get hit by that first rocket, and all of a sudden everything's crazy. It's tough to aim the second air blast once you're hit by the first rocket. Crits is almost ready, though. I would expect to see them pop this in the demo, but right now the demo's too far forward. He's going to die before they ever get the crits to him. And there you go. So it is actually going to be Rice once again with the Crockets. Does take down Cliff Anderson. Or maybe that's under tin. Haha, tin. Get it? Because SN is tin. Anyway, oh, did you know that the reason tin is SN, it's not just because some scientist thought he would like make your life hell. It's actually because it used to be called snunbium. I don't really know why it was called that, but I'm sure you can find that on Wikipedia. It kind of a really weird name for an element. It could have been, I mean, because tin has existed forever, right? I'm pretty sure. I think. I don't know. I'm sure there's a story behind this. I would love to hear it too, but there's not a lot of time left in this half now. 1 minute, 30 seconds. GMC able to push in. Leifon is like the only man left alive. He just got a couple respawners, but he's going to be standing on the point practically by himself here, and he will start to take a lot of damage if he's not careful. He's looking. He wants to make sure nobody comes in. I think I actually saw a red teammate over there, though. Yeah, okay, so they're just kind of poking in now. There is a heavy out. It's going to be good for them. And he's... Oh, that's a good looking... Is that an unusual? I think it is. That is a sexy unusual, my friend. That looks really good. And this is a very aggressive heavy play. You don't usually see heavies jump quite this far forward on process. Usually they kind of stick way back and force the enemy to come to them. But he is just going to grab that health kit back up to full very quickly. Now he's going to die, though. Or not. I'm surprised. Normally you would be able to focus that heavy very quickly. Like, here's the thing. So Tom Roadrunner ran in by himself. I don't know if he told the rest of his team the heavy was there, but they really should have, because that heavy should have been, by all rights, dead. Anyway, Team Poop is keeping most of their players alive. In fact, all their players alive right now. So this push didn't look good until the heavy actually got taken down from the flank. Scout just walked up to him and meat shot him to death. So now suddenly GMC, no, they are not going to be able to get this. A good Uber by Poop to save most of their players. So, you know, love the demo man lines. But I was kind of making fun of the, not making fun, but criticizing is the word. Criticizing that Medic's play earlier because he didn't pop his Uber early enough, and it looks like that was just a mistake from him because he actually does know what he's doing. So that's the halftime. All right, we're gonna get to this mid fight. I'm gonna watch. I actually tried to watch Everybody Sucks in his rollout, but Fraps decided it didn't like me, so I missed most of it. Anyway, Fraps aside, which I know people keep telling me to use direct or DX story or whatever, and I'm always like, yeah, I could do that, but that's effort to like change programs and learn a new one. I don't have time just to sit down and learn a new program right now, or really I don't have energy to do it. I guess I have a little bit of time to do it. I don't have the energy to do it. One of these days I probably will try to switch because it's getting really annoying with Fraps. But whatever. Team Poop winning this mid fight right now, but yeah, they've taken out the enemy med, and Rice drive bombing in to try and take out the rest of the players. That soldier will get away with 40 health right now, and Derplink is going to try and cover second point. If that scout walks onto the point, he's going to be so dead. Oh, actually not dead. Interestingly enough, he managed to get away from that without taking too much damage. Everybody, that is everybody poops, right? No, not that. I think so, yeah, the scout. And now they're getting... Oh! I was going to say they're getting on top of the demo, but Derplink able to derp a pipe out there and completely destroy that scout. So, well done, sir. I like that kill. And where is the pyro? Still running that full-time pyro, and let's just see if he's still kind of doing the same thing. He is pretty much sticking with the team. Not taking a lot of heals right now. He's gonna let his, you know, jumping classes get buffs, and he's just gonna stick around on the low ground. Actually, does manage to, I think, light the demo man on fire, which is just a little helpful. Kaku actually gets taken out, and that's gonna be a huge deal. The Uber is in right now. GMC losing a lot of players, and Leifon decides not to reflect that, but they actually lose their own med here. Didn't even see how that happened. But Wine Galaxy coming in for a good kill as well. And Team Poop is losing a lot of players, despite the fact that they just won this point. They're going to lose it again very quickly. Is Rice using the gunboats? No, shotgun. So it's going to be a tough jump in, or he's just going to die. Either way. And I was asking about the gunboats because I thought he might try to jump the point to stop it from getting captured by GMC. You know, it seems like it would be a fairly safe assumption that he might try to do that, but then he didn't, and a scout ate his lunch. And normally you think of a scout eating the heavy's lunch, I guess. But it's just a turn of phrase, okay? Don't make fun of me for it. It's literally, it's idiom. It is an idiom. The Twine Galaxy, though. Where did these guys come up with these names? I still think the absolute best name I have ever seen in TF2. I was playing a lobby like a year ago, and there's a guy named I'm Not Gay, but 20 bucks is 20 bucks, and I was just like, yeah, you win. So wherever you are, man, I hope you're still out there playing TF2 and you still have the same name because it's the best. It pretty much is the best. GMC losing one scout over there on the flank, but Team Poop has actually lost both their scouts, which means they're going to have to play pretty tight, and that kind of sucks for them. They do have an Uber, and they saved their demo with it, which is good. Laying down a bunch of damage, too, actually, as this Uber is over. GMC's having some difficulty. Plus, Everybody Sucks is trying to lay down damage on these scouts, but that's not going to happen too easily, especially not with a bottle. I was trying to figure out what was happening, so I gave myself a little grunt, and then it just kept going because I thought it was pretty funny. But no, Team Poop at this point is starting to lose again, and GMC able to put together a couple pushes. I think they should win this. It is, remember, 3-2 in favor of Good Manners and Customs right now. So they are starting to push pretty close to winning this game. If they can win this round, they'll be right on top of it. Of course, they do still play to 5. Kind of like ESEA rules, except that they play to a half of 4 instead of a half of 5, which, believe it or not, that was actually the old ESEA rule. They used to play to a half of 4, and they changed it to 3 pretty much right before I started shoutcasting. So I don't know anything else, but that's the way it used to be, I guess. GMC watching the flanks. They take down Everybody Poops. That they should push off this. They've got an Uber advantage. This Pyro is going to die because, ouch. You know, he ate one rocket, and you know, once you eat one rocket and you're way far forward like that, it's tough to play a Pyro in that situation. So probably shouldn't have been positioned as he was. Team Poop losing almost everyone. They've kept their med alive, but will they for much longer? I would like to see Tom Roadrunner maybe sneaking around and... Oh no, he's actually going to be the Wine Galaxy once again. This guy's been carrying his team. He's going to go for the med pick, or at least try to harass a little bit. If they can get in here before that med gets Uber, they can actually win it right away. Sentry is up, but no, there you go. The med's down, so no Uber to defend this point, and that is going to be a quick 4-2. Good round for both teams. Calling it out right now. And GMC are going to be one round away from potentially winning the game. So this is, of course, the first time I think either team has ever been casted. And I do wish them luck in the future. I would love to see them getting, a lot better at this game, getting mentors and whatever, trying to improve their game. And I love to see all the new teams getting in. I got to tell you that it's pretty cool to hear about some of the success stories just from like pubbers who get into the game. And I'm not using the term in a derogatory way, because Tony Swan, invite level scout with god tier aim, is a total pubber. Like he 2 or 3 seasons ago played the game as a pub with his friends, and they were like, hey, you should get into competitive. And so he's like, okay, I guess I will. And then went to invite because he was utterly amazing on scout. We actually did a interview with him, me and Seabear, when we casted one of his games, and he said he was going to quit. I was like, no, Tony, you can't quit. You're like the best scout ever. But whatever. So there are definitely success stories out there, and I would love to encourage you guys to get into 6v6. Play with your friends. That's the best way to do it. Just find your friends, get into a low-level league. Unless your friends happen to already be in a high-level league, in which case, cool, just hop in with them, play some scrims, see if you can improve quickly. But no, I mean, you got to start playing competitive with your friends. That's just how to do it, because you will enjoy it so much more if you're playing with people who are fun to play with and who you know pretty well. A good back-cap attempt going on by Rice Guy, I guess, but this is actually going to leave him way out of position. He does find the med, though. Can he get this pick? Yes, he can. Kaku got caught out there, not realizing that traveling alone is very unsafe as a med. I mean, you can do it sometimes, but when there's a soldier back there, it's tough. And Leifon does get a kill on the scout as well. The Wine Galaxy has been lit on fire, and I got to tell you, wine, decently flammable. It's made of alcohol. Is this the scrap pack? No, what is this? It's the... What's that called? Pyrotechnic something. Oh, it's got like all kinds of... Can you imagine, like, if they gave the pyro an item like this that actually made him able to be lit on fire? Because it looks like if you hit that, he should just like explode into a shower of everything. The Wine Galaxy able to get in on top of Arbitration, though, and Arbitration was trying to snipe, but that was not Arbitration's fault, that death right there. That was the rest of his team just letting the scout get into his back, and that sucks that they weren't able to stop the Wine Galaxy from getting that kill. However, it's not going to let them push in yet, because it's still fight. Whoa, what was Everybody Sucks doing up there? Now they can push in. There's no Demo Man. So, yeah, go. Go, guys. Just get into him. Go! Why aren't you going? Get into the last point. Where's GMC right now? Oh, they're wasting an opportunity here, because they almost have the Uber. They could be pushing in. There's no Demo Man. There's no sticky traps to stop them. And here they go. They do have the Uber now. They're going to push in. Problem is that Demo Man is going to be respawning just now. And they do force enemy Uber, but the Demo will get out in time to save this, I think. GMC losing Derp Link right away. I want to see Derp Link battle Dark Link. That's what I want to see happen. Dark Link tries to like mirror the normal Link moves, and Derp Link just wanders around with his sword and smacks himself with the hilt. Sounds like a pretty good battle. One scout against a Demo Medic pair, not usually going to work, but he just put a lot of time on the point. You got to be really careful. You got to keep one person at least standing on this point. And the scout is just staying alive for so long. Finally, Arbitration takes him down. GMC gonna lay the traps down and try to keep themselves situated for another attack. Derplink not watching his trap though, and a scout just kind of walks right under it. Oops. So hopefully at least calls that out. Gonna go for the air pipe, not hitting that one. But Team Poop should not have pushed this. They lost their opportunity when they were trying to deal with that scout. And I like the call. It was a gutsy call to try to push out and recapture, but it was just not going to happen. Everybody Sucks now down, so it's 6 against 3 really. There is an Uber, so it could save the point, but no, Leifon's down. That Uber is only going to get popped on one soldier. They just had a couple respawners actually. Heavy's going to come out and start dealing damage, and actually no, GMC. They need to back out now. It's still cool. Like, if they keep their med alive, they've got a huge Uber advantage. Arbitration knows this. He's trying to take the med down, so good play from him. He didn't quite manage to do it, though, and that does mean the Uber advantage is going to come in very soon. So everybody poops is just sitting back on the last point here. Not playing scout anymore, playing heavy. And Rice, what are you doing? Oh, these guys are so far forward. This is not going to work. I tell you right now, this defense is not going to work. Now, to be fair, they do want to try to stop the enemy Uber from coming into their point and just taking advantage of them. But they can just play backwards, I think, and be okay. And they do lose their pyro very quickly. That is not going to be a great thing. And there goes the demo. Heavy's probably going to get focused here as well. Rice is doing a good job of trying to defend, but he's only able to get so much damage down before he dies, and that's probably going to be it. GMC able to get on the point. Just one scout left, and that is it. So finally, good manners and customs. They win the game against their opponent's team poop. A pretty good game. I liked seeing the full-time pyro, and I hope that you guys decide to get into 6v6 as well. Who knows? Maybe you'll even get casted by SalTV. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I will see you later, though. Do hit subscribe if you like it. And remember to check out the Demo Man commentary because that's where the contest is going to be happening.